Well, it's the end of the month and we have a brand new release from hot off the press. Now, you may be all involved in Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, but there are other things also that are going on. And right now, it's forest magic. So there's just so much to share with you. In fact, let me show you this. This is one of the projects that we'll be having from Debbie. Lots of love today and always. Enjoy the day. You see our deer. And then when you open this up, you're going to see lots of other things from this collections. Okay, won't you please come play with us? Okay, before I get into the projects that Debbie's done, let me just show you what's in the collection. And I'm going to scoot these aside so that we can focus, okay? So we're going to start with the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. And it's double-sided, of course. There are 66 cutouts, and that's kind of part of the magic of hot off the press. So let me just show you what they look like. So here's the first one. Now, I don't know about forests where you live, but here in the Pacific Northwest, ours come with sweaters and garlands, all sorts of things. And you can see that the mountainscape in the back. And on the back, you're going to find a lot of wood greens and just beautiful. Look at this with the forest in the front. This one has that bear, and we have a rabbit down here. And yet, if those are not going to work for you, there's lots of scenery that's going to work beautifully. We have our deer up there, and we have this one, just lots of green, and again, it's going to work really well. Okay, our wolf and a fox and an owl, how pretty. And on the back, we have it in green. Now, this is some of the cutouts, and you'll notice that we leave you room to add something else. So if you want to add die cut, a cutting die, a stamp, dazzles. Most of them are vertical, but you'll notice that a couple of them are horizontal. So we've got this one and this, and we also have 2 rows of borders. They're of course 12-inch. On the back, we have a wood and again, some trees in the front. Now this is another one, and in our forest magic, there are flowers too. So just beautifully done. Now again, you can turn these straight. And probably all of them, maybe with the exception of the one with the fox, you could go horizontally if that worked best for your layout. Another border right there, and this is a beautiful set of very distressed wood. Here are the cutouts. Most of them have words, all of them have the art. Great for layering and placing on your projects, as I will show you. And here is another one, just beautiful. Now, to give you an idea of what you can do with these, there are always ideas on the back of the package. That's something Hot Off the Press always does. Scrapbook page and a card. I'll share the scrapbook page with you right now. And here it is. So we've got 3 photos. They are all double matted. And this is on the bear page. And so you can see that the bunny's looking up and the deer is looking over. She's added the chipboard, and that's what all of those are, and also some of the die cuts, and I'll show you those in just a moment. Now, to coordinate with all of this, there is the solid cardstock, and by solid we mean a solid color. There are 12 by 12, they're all 12 by 12. There are 12 colors. Now, that's interesting because you figure you're only getting 12 sheets. So how does that work? Well, let me show you. On every sheet, just like this one, there's a medium blue. On the back, there is a light blue. 2 colors, 1 sheet, works great. And you're going to get 2 of each one. So on this with the brown, you have this kind of tan on the other side. Here we have 2. We always have 2. A dark green, super dark green, kind of an evergreen, and then a medium green, a brown, and a tan on the back side, and a gray with a cream on the other side. And again, those are the 12 colors, and you're going to get 2 of each in the package. And these all have, they are all 65-pound cover weight, if that means anything to you. It's 176 GSM, so they're a nice sturdy weight. Okay, so 2 of those are always there. And we also take the 6x6. Now the 6x6 are the same designs, just shrunk down. And in this, let's get a little closer, you're going to get 132 cutouts. And that's because you get 4 sheets of every single design. So you see all of those. On the back of this, there is a, whoops, there is a card. Well, there really is a card. I forgot to fix that. On yours, there will be a card, and that will look great. Okay, now we're going to get into the die cuts. There are 31. And what you get are 2 different sheets. They are already die cut. They're just going to pop right out. And again, just like the cutouts, there is art on all of them. Some of them have no words, but you can layer them, you can overlap them, you can do some wonderful things. And Debbie has given us a lot of options. In this, like all of them, there are ideas. So in this case, there are 2 cards. And that just is what we call just jump-starting your creativity when these land at your doorstep. Now we also have chipboard and cutting dies. So let me start with the cutting die. And with the Forest Magic, there are 17 shapes right here. And you can see there are trees, and there is a new process we have. It's called a thin cut. Nobody else has this. It's exclusive to us until somebody else starts copying us. And you can kind of see it here. We'll get in closer so that you can see. And you see how on this, almost looks like layers, doesn't it? Well, what it is that we've actually cut right along there. So when you die cut it, it's going to get cut, not all the way through, well, all the way through the paper, but not side to side. So it is still one piece, but the look you're going to get is just phenomenal. You can see it also on the bear. You can see, you really see his face. And he has a sweater, well, of course, and his sweater is a separate piece. So you can cut it out of a solid color, as Debbie did here, and then another color to go on top. Then you can do some pen work with some markers. So lots of things going on with these beautiful cutting dies. So that is also, as always, there is an idea on the back of the package. Finally, we have chipboard. And the chipboard is 6x6. This has 11 pieces. And if we get in closer, this is really where we got the idea of the thin cuts. And you can see the beautiful artwork that is done inside the chipboard. Again, this is exclusive with hot off the press, and just makes it so much easier to color these with ink pads or with markers. And yes, that's not icicles. That is a row of trees, you can see. And our fox, our owl that you saw earlier on the page, and some flowers, as well as a stag deer. So, and again, there is a sample on the back. Okay, so that's what Hot Off the Press has, but let's see what Debbie has done. So here is her first project, as I showed you in the beginning. This is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and she has used, of course, all these products. So let me show you what she used. And to begin, she cut a section out of this first paper. Remember I showed you that with the bear? And she used the area up here with the deer. Now, as you know, if you are a scrapbooker, I'm going to lay this sheet down. We'll back up just a moment. And you can see that there's plenty of room in the center for your photos, just like the sample page that Debbie did for us. But for card makers, you can cut this into 4 pieces and get 4 different cards. And that's exactly what she's done here. So we'll zoom back in, and you can see that she cut this piece smaller than the card, and then she matted it on one of the solids, and it happens to be on this one, a darker brown. And that gave her the beginning of her card. So it's going to look like that. Then all she did was to use the die cuts, and let me show you. So she took this border and placed it down here, trimmed it to fit. She foam taped "Enjoy This Day," it's right here, and just put it over at the right, which allowed her to see the deer that's right here. So that's nice. The "Lots of Love Today and Always," well, that is on the other sheet right here. Again, you can foam tape it, you can glue it, just whatever you want. This is some of the chipboard, and this is a good example of what I meant, that you can color it in with markers. or you can stamp your ink pad on a craft mat, spritz it with water, and paint it in with a paintbrush, whatever you like. So that's exactly what she did. Now on the inside of her card, look at that. It's just gorgeous. So she used, cleverly I might add, this upper area of her sheet on the front of her card, but down here she used the bottom part. So on the inside of her card, here we've got that gorgeous, wonderful bear right here. And over here, she's got the deer and the snowfall in the trees right here. Both of them had been matted on that same paper and glued in place. Now this is one of our fabulous folded cutting dies. It's called a window pop-up card. And you can see it just has two pieces. One for the large pop-up, which is right here. Now, remember when I was showing you the papers and most of them had the wood on the back? Well, that's what Debbie has used. Look at this. This is the one with all the distressed wood. She has used that for the larger die and also for the smaller die. So they're just resting on the inside. The smaller die becomes a place to put additional things to get that tunnel look. And she has used the chipboard for all of these, and you can see how beautifully they have been colored with ink pads and markers. And we've got our fox up here, we've got more trees. So it really incorporates into what's going on the papers on the inside. From Me to You is one of the die cuts, and just gorgeous. I love how this is going over the opening, and the deer, of course, is standing over the opening. Just beautiful. And that owl up there is just a great finishing touch. And this is going to fold flat and get mailed easily. Okay, let's see what else the ladies dreamed up. This again is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, but of course this is a gatefold. So that means that when you have your card laying flat, you simply take each of the outside edges and bring them into the center. Now don't overlap them, just be sure to have them kind of kissing in the center there. And she has taken the green wood, and let me pull that out for you. There it is. It's on the back of our fox, and she has cut the two pieces a little bit smaller than her card and glued them to cover each of those two gates that we call them. And here what she's done on the front of her card is she's taken advantage of the cutting dies. So you can see the trees. So she's done, let's see, there's two trees, but she's cut multiples of the smaller tree. And she's got our little deer, our little rabbit kind of hiding in between the trees. That's as rabbits do. And I thought it was really neat how she did it. So let me show you the solid colors that she used. So here is the color that she used for the rabbit. And she used this light blue for the flowers that are on the inside. So just cut it out a second time. And then she also used a green for the leaves. So you can either color them or you can die cut them. So that works out nicely. And our big wonderful bear, well, there he is, of course, out of the brown. And then the lighter color is on the back of one of the sheets that I don't have, but you saw it in the beginning where he was cut out of that, or his sweater was cut out of that, and then also out of the dark green. The same dark green that did these, but also notice that she did a lighter green, and that's the wonderfulness, okay, of having so many different shades, is that you can do some layering, you can do some things like that. Now, all of these are glued straight. This is foam taped, and of course our bear is foam taped. And notice our bear with the cut has, you can really see that back paw, that back leg is indeed behind him. So that looks neat. Now take a beautiful escape, and those are out of the die cuts, and they're just going to give you lots and lots of options. So take a beautiful escape is foam taped, but notice it goes over that gate, and the bear goes over the right-hand gate. So those two are kind of intersecting or overlapping. This is the this little piece that you can use just as a decorative accent. And then as we open this up, we're going to get the other side of that sheet. So we saw the green on the front. Well, we're going to see the green on each of the insides, but we're going to see that marvelous wolf on the center of it. So he just really pops right out and looks super to us. And Be Bold, Be You, that's one of the die cuts. Love and Hugs. But these two pieces are coming out of our cutout sheet. So here we go. The bear, you can see that's just going to get trimmed out. And this is what I mean on the ones that don't have words. So this one has the art, but you can add the words by stamping on them, using dazzles, using the die cuts, just right there. And the owl, or excuse me, yes, the owl right there is from right here. So again, it's a decorative piece that you can add. And isn't that wonderful? And nice to have things, even in this season, that you can use for masculine cards. So that's always great. And Debbie did use some of the ink pads. She used khaki and charcoal to edge some of her pieces and to edge her cards. So it works really nicely. Okay, let's go to her next card. And this is a 6x6 card. And Debbie used one of the papers to do this. Actually, this is a 6x6, but it's also an easel card. There you go. Now, I think this is showing up well enough that I don't need to put white behind it, but just in case, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit easier for you. Okay, so she did take, and I can show you on the inside of the card. So she took a 6-inch by 12-inch piece, and she used this cardstock. It's darker on one side, lighter on the other. And she cut her piece and then simply scored it in half. So it was 12 inches long, 6 inches tall, scored in the middle, and that became her card. And then she scored again on the front, scoring half, so measuring 3 inches, scoring it again. And that works nicely. Now, for this piece, she used the 6x6 papers, and this is the one that she used. Doesn't that work just quite nicely? Now, you can do it vertically. You could do it horizontally, whatever you like. So that's what she used for the front of her card. Now, you want to be careful to go ahead and decorate this, but then when you attach it, attach the bottom of this to the bottom of your card front, okay? Because you want this to be free and moving, okay? That will get you your easel. So on this, she did 2 borders, a narrow border and a little bit bigger one, and those are on that sheet, okay? Then for this center part, she used, remember this is the back of this sheet, so she used a strip there. And she used another little area of the brown cardstock just to do a border right in the middle. This is one of the cutouts. This is the die cuts. These are the die cuts, and notice the flowers are stacked, so that's going to work nicely. The heartfelt thanks is one of the die cuts. And then she used some of our dazzles. Now this is out of the Lacy Border Dazzles, and this has multiple sets. Now I left the gold one on top because she used the brown, and we're going to get in close so you can really see. And I thought the brown was a fun look on the wood. You do have to look a little bit. You can see 2 there, 2 down here, and then this just looks so much darker, but it's all from the same sheet. So that finishes her card front. Now we're going to go to the inside, and again, she is taking an area out of the 12 by 12. So we have our bunny right here, more of the lacy border on each side. You can really see that nicely. Now, in order for the easel to stand up, you need something to hold it in place, and that something is the magic of foam tape. So you take the blessings, this is out of the die cuts, and do 2 layers. So put 1 layer, pull the tape off, and put another layer, and then have that on the back of blessings, and that's going to do your magic. And this is the way it's going to look when it's sitting at your friend's house. And this is what it's going to be when it gets mailed. So it works very, very nicely. And so she did use both the 6x6 and the 12x12. You know, you might as well use them both, don't you think? Okay. Now I have one more card for you. And this one also has some fun things going on. So you've seen kind of this was the brown papers. This was more the green. I think in the first one, as I buried that card, it was more kind of the lighter colors. Well, we're into the blues now. And that's what this card is. So we'll get in closer. And this is, again, a 5x6.5. It's not, maybe not that close, a little bit out, thank you. Now, this has been a really fun mix of different things. So let me show you. Debbie has chosen, here we go. Actually, what I should do is first open the card for you, okay. Well, let me begin, okay, right here. So remember those large cutouts? This is the one that she used. And because this has an opening, now I told you could use it for so many things. Well, one of the things is a circle cutting dies. And that's what Debbie has done, is that she has used this set. Here we go. And so she cut out, now this is circles and scallops. There's 12 of them here, which is great. And she used 2 of the straight, you know, they're not the scalloped. So she did one out of the center of that large cutout, and then she did a second one out of just the glitter. Now the glitter is a different glitter. It's called a blue mix, and I think you can see that there's just lots of different colors. Maybe we can get in even closer. There's just lots of different colors in this blue mix. You can kind of see, I can see some red and pink and a clear, almost some yellow. And of course, when you have it in small doses, you're just getting that wonderful texture. Now this is almost looking like an oval, but it is a circle. So we've got the circle and the other circle. So take this big cutout, cut it out, and go ahead and cut your circle. Then take your glitter and cut it to fit, to mat this piece, but don't attach them because you want to do the cutting out of that, okay? And then glue them together. The Happy Together is, as you would guess, is one of the die cuts. Now, her card was also covered with that blue mix glitter, and then she used a different area of her paper. So let me show you the paper. So you can see within this, because the card itself was also cut, so that's something I need to remember to tell you. On the inside, we have this scene, and it comes from this big sheet. Again, we're back to the bear. And here is that lonesome house on the prairie, and she used that for the center of the inside of her card. Looks really great. Find the Simple Joys is a die cut. Now she's got this up here on the upper left-hand corner so that it wouldn't show when the card is closed. But what does show is that bunny, and it looks really nice with this wreath of flowers around it. So you're going to be cutting several different things. You're going to perhaps take your card and cover it with the blue mix glitter, and then do the circle die cut. Then you're going to take this piece, die cut it with the circle, then take the blue mix glitter again, that's going to be larger than this piece, and die cut it, and then assemble those together. This has been foam taped in place. Of course, these two are glued in place. So that just gives you that beautiful frame around the little house and the bunny. Now, as to this area, you know, it can come from many different areas in the pack of papers. I did ask Debbie where she selected it, and she wasn't sure. I have to tell you that. You have used this area, so I think you could use this because what you're just getting is the colors behind it. You're not really getting too many images because you've got this wreath of flowers, and then you've of course got the house and the bunny on the inside. So that's the magic that's going on there. A nice use of those giant cutouts. Okay, so that's what I have to share with you. Now, if you go to any of these items in Paper Wishes, you will see a video where I again show you all of the separate pages. So if you just want to see that again, that's right there for you. The other thing I want to share with you is some things that we have for you. So you will receive, if you are a VIP member, or if you just go to the bottom of our homepage, when we get to the beginning of November, you will see this. This is a combination of cutouts from the paper pad, and this is yours to download, to reuse as often as you want, and is our gift to you. Speaking of our gift to you, if you have signed up to become a VIP, which you do that at checkout, when your purchases in 12 months reach $500, we automatically make you a VIP, and that means that every month you will get 2 sheets of every 6x6 paper and each new collection that we offer. So you'll get a code that will be here. We'll send that to you, and then you can just add that to your very next order. Now, we do have some subscriptions, and so if you are interested in getting a wonderful group of products that are all color coordinated, all design coordinated every single month, so you're just going to get 12 a year, this is what we have. Now, the first one is called I Want It All. Now, that means you're going to get everything but not the cutting die. Not everyone wants cutting dies or has the machine. So that's what we call this. You will save 20%, people. 20%, you will get one of each, and you will get it before the webisode. The other thing is that because all of these have ideas on them, you will have ideas in your hot little hands the moment that these arrive, which is really kind of neat. Now, if you are saying, you know, Paulette, that sounds interesting, but I want the cutting die too. Well, we have something for you. It is called I Really Want It All. Emphasis on the really. Same deal. 20% off. You receive everything before the webisode. You can have all of those goodies to play with, or just to sit and look at and wait for the webisode. So your choice. Now, down below, you will see the products that Debbie has used to create these. Most of them are just right within the whole program of this collection, and that's fun. The cutting die is separate, and of course the ink pads and the blue mix glitter are all different, but they're listed for you. Okay, so that's what we have, and I want to thank Debbie for, as always, the woman is just a creative machine, so for doing such a wonderful job and giving us so many different looks. That's really, really fun. And if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we'd love it if you would subscribe to the YouTube. Please head on over to paperwishes.com. That's the only place on the planet that you can get this collection, and that you can actually get the things that I've been showing you. So that's really nice too. And the money saver that's over on the right-hand side of your screen, it's going to save you a little bit of money too. So we're always watching out for your pocketbook too. Okay, I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank Debbie for an excellent job, but most of all, I want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.